Right, guys, I've changed the radiator on this 2008 EX35. This is my wife's car, and we originally noticed a transmission oil leak coming from the transcooler, which is inside the radiator. I stopped it for a few months with a new O-ring, but it's back to leaking, and the cooler's inside the radiator, so I'm just going to change the radiator. Whether you have a coolant leak or transmission oil leak, it's the same procedure. Before you do that, you want to get your AC system recovered. Means getting the freon out. You don't want to open the lines when this thing is under pressure. I mean, it's bad for you, the environment. If that thing gets in your eyes, I'm sure it can do some damage. So you want to do that before you start taking things apart. First thing is under tray, the cover on the bottom should be about 10 bolts. It's pretty easy. You want to jack up the car. Then a few things that are going to come out first would be the airbox filter. I took this one out. This car has two. I'm going to take the one over there out, show you guys. Reservoir's coming out. This tray's coming out. The hood lock mechanism is coming out. I'm going to try and make this video as short as possible, and yeah, show you as I go along. Alright, for the air filter box, there's a 10mm bolt right on the corner. Sorry, that's an 8. That's a 10. That's out. Then you loosen the hose clamp or the tube over here. That's an 8mm, or you could do it with your flathead. That's out. And you want to take the connector out, squeeze it and pull. Okay, just don't pull. Just you gotta squeeze the tap, and pull it out. And then take it out from the hose and just lift it up. I forgot about this. You want to take this out before you start pulling. This one, let's just squeeze it, squeeze the tabs, then pull it out. Just squeeze slightly, you don't want to break it. Then, ta-da, out it goes. I'm going to drain the coolant next. In order to drain the coolant, you gotta remove the radiator cap. Make sure the car is cold. Don't lose when the car is hot. My car's been sitting overnight. Reservoir cap. And then we're gonna head down underneath the car. Alright, so now we're gonna drain the coolant. You'll see it right here. The drain plug's right there. Stick a screwdriver up the little tube, and you'll let out the coolant. Just let it flow out. I'm gonna let it drain and continue on taking stuff apart from the top. So I'm gonna take it out right now. Next, I'll be taking the reservoir out. These should be 10mm also. If you already have the cap off, just take the hose out. Don't pull it. You could twist it and then pull as you twist. It should be 10mm. Hose out. Out. Should be able to come out now. Yep. Make sure you get last hose in the bottom. Same procedure. Twist it and then pull as you twist. Might be some fluid in here. So get ready for front. Right there. Oh, right. All right. Some 10mm bolts holding all around. These fasteners here, you gotta take them out. So I'm assuming the front grille has to come out in order to let go of this one. In order to take the grille out, it's very simple, and these fasteners are very fragile, so I suggest you buy some beforehand. They're really cheap. I got them on eBay, come about 100 for $8. Not too bad, but you just pry them out. So take this one, flat head, just push it up and you should be good to go. See? Some of them come out easy, some of them are a pain in the butt. Then you got ones that are actually on the bottom of the grill by where my drill is at. There's another bolt right there. So there's one on that side, one this way. In order to take that out, you gotta remove the grill. So here we go. To remove the grill, you already have half the job done when you remove the clips on the top. These clips right here. Now you gotta remove the seal. To remove the seal, you want to use a special tool. This is my special tool. You know, just take plastic, so that way you don't scratch anything up, your grill, nothing. You just pry out the seal. So I got half of it done. What it is just little clips. So all you gotta do is just pry them up. So I put it on the bottom and work them out slowly until it pops. Pop. They don't break. Well, they could break, but you know, just make sure you go easy. And once you get it out, get the seal out, you'll see the, get this out of the way. The grill, all you gotta do is just pull it out. Okay? I'll do one more, show you guys. Just put it on the bottom, just kind of pry slowly. Use plastic, that way you don't scratch up your grill. Or you can put some tape on the grill if you don't want to scratch it. You should be good to remove the front grill. All you gotta do is grab it from the bottom and pull it towards the front of the car. I mean, you need a little bit of strength. Don't go too crazy. You don't want to break it. So there should be 3 clips holding it on each side. I got these out. I'm gonna get this one here. There you go. These are the clips that are holding. They're holding onto the bumper. These clips right here. So all you want to do is pull out this way. 2 bolts missing. Well, they need to be taken out. So they're right here below this. I don't want to take the bumper out. So I'm just going to move it a little bit. That's one. Then I'm going to remove the other side. And that should be good to go. Something else holding it? Yep. So we got the whole box. Take them out. That should be okay now. Got one more thing here. Got a little harness over here. Make sure close the clips. Squeeze them. It's just like the one in the airbox. Just squeeze them out. You don't want to be just cool. You don't want to damage anything. Got one more here. You got it. along. Alright. I'll show you what I'm talking about when I take it out. Cover goes like this. This is the harness right here. Hope you can see it. These are the clips that it's holding, just like the airbox one. So it'll go like that, like so. So you squeeze the tabs and then you push it down and you should be good. It'll release it. Hood lock stay, just this piece. You're gonna see 2 bolts, 1, 2, 10 millimeters. And then you're gonna see the nut down there, over there. That's also 10 millimeters. Remove those 3. This whole assembly comes out. Remove the cable. Just press down, press it with some pliers or with your hands if you can take it out. And after that, we're gonna focus on removing everything around it, like these over here. Take these out. You gotta remove the horn. Horn, pretty simple. Take out the connectors, and this bolt right here should be 10 millimeter also. Okay, so now it's time to remove the condenser. In order to do that, you have to make sure your AC system was recovered, the Freon was taken out. That way when you unhook the piping over there, you don't get splashed with Freon. And that could be harmful to you, or the environment. Plus you get big fines if someone rats you out. So you want to make sure everything's out of the way, which we did already. Okay, so now I have my condenser ready to come out. My lines here are disconnected. Move them out of the way. Turns out you don't have to remove the water tank, or well, the refrigerant tank. Just leave it there. Just make sure you're careful when you're taking it out. So how you take it out is, let me go on this side, got better lighting. Right here. I pushed it up already. See this little tap right here? You push it in, and when you push in, you pull the condenser at the same time. Same thing on this side. I don't know if you can see it. Right here. Here it is. The lighting kind of sucks. There it is. Push it, and then you pull at the same time. Sure everything's out of the way. Sure these lines don't get out of the way. There's the condenser. Now we gotta disconnect everything attached to the radiator, which is upper hose right here, lower hose, which I'll do in a minute, and AT, automatic transmission, cooler lines, and we should be ready to go. Alright, so want to twist first and then pull. We might have some antifreeze come out, so be prepared for it. Twist and pull at the same time. There it goes. There's the antifreeze. Alright, so now we're underneath the car, and this is the lower radiator hose, and this is the reason why I'm changing the radiator. That fitting right there behind the washer started leaking automatic transmission fluid, and I tried to repair it, But eventually, a few months passed, and then it started leaking again. And rather than just keep messing with it, I just rather bite it in the butt and just change the radiator out. So what you gotta do is take this clamp out, remove the hose. You might have some, you definitely have some coolant here, so be careful. Then you remove that hose, and you might want to clamp it. You might want to clamp it with hose clamps. I'll show you the ones I'm going to be using. And right above that one is the other line, the inlet side. So once you remove those two, well, those two up there, and this one, you should be ready to go. This is the second one on the top. This is the hose clamp I used for the one on the bottom, so it won't drip. I won't have to use it here. It's high enough, it won't drip. So this fitting right here is actually 19 millimeter. I don't have a 19 millimeter with me, at least right now, so I'm going to use a 3/4 standard, which should work fine. I had it loose already, so anyways, this is their size. See, I had it loose already. 3/4. Just take it out. It should be okay. Just pull it off to the side, and gotta make sure, double check everything's out. It should be this one, the one at the bottom, lower radiator hose, upper radiator hose. We should be good to go. So now these locks right here, you gotta turn them. They have arrows. Just turn to unlock position. That will release the radiator. There's one here and one on the other side. So unlock is clockwise, I believe, counterclockwise. So it should be good there. Alright, so now once you get in the unlock position, you just want to pry it out. So, just work it out slowly. You gotta pull towards the front and up when you have enough clearance. Okay, so now that we got the old radiator out, it should be a good idea just to put the two side by side and compare, make sure you got the right one. It won't be identical, but as long as all the mounting points and everything look the same, it should be okay. So now you're going to transfer as much as you can, like the mount to the bottom. I'll show you right now. These mounts, you just come out and you just transfer everything as much as you can. Might not fit like on the new one, but it'll do. And then one's on the top. Okay, so now we're ready for installation. I cleaned the area a little bit before putting the radiator in. Mine was full of transmission fluid all the way down the bottom, so I cleaned it up a little bit. A few things to keep in mind when you're installing. You gotta make sure you don't hit the fins on the cooler. You don't want to bend that or kind of damage it in any way. I also didn't remove the AC lines. You can if you want to, but all I'm going to do is just move them aside a little bit, just like I took it out. And so down there, that's where the mounts go, the ones you remove from the old radiator. They're different sizes, so the small one goes in here, and then the bigger one goes in there. I don't think you can mistake it. The holes are different. So also watch out for the hood release cable when you're trying to put the radiator in. You don't want to damage the fins. So this time you gotta just be very careful when putting it in. Make sure the grommets are still there. There you go. Okay, so now that the radiator's in, we're ready to put the locks to hold it in place. So you see the little kind of wings, little tabs. Just push it in, and then go clockwise until you hear a click. The radiator won't move anymore. Same thing on the other side. Okay, I wanted to show you guys how the condenser locks in place, so you don't struggle once you have it in there. The tabs in the bottom, the condenser falls in place right here, and then up here you got to make sure it goes inside of here first. I don't know if I can focus, and then this will lock it. Let me show you in the vehicle. See, this is the condenser itself. I got it on the bottom, so now you gotta pick it up again and make sure it goes into the slot. Let me see if I can get it. See the slot right here? Gotta kind of push this back and snap it in. Alright, so pick it up a little bit. Okay, gotta make sure it goes in on the other side as well at the same time. See, I didn't get the other side at the same time, so I guess I gotta do it again. Okay. Make sure. Alright, once you get it lined up here, just make sure the other side's aligned too. And kind of push down, and they're both locked. Okay, so after the condenser's in, want to hook up the lines back up. Make sure everything is clean of debris before you put it in. That was a 10 millimeter, and right in here where the lines come out of from. There you go, that's the bolt. That's another 10 millimeter. And don't forget to do the one by the line, which over here, the one I'm missing. I have to tighten that one. And okay, right after that, we're gonna put the hood lock stay, which is assembly, the big piece that goes down here. Don't forget 10 millimeters. The nut in the bottom is 10 millimeters as well. Right, the horn is going to come up next. It's also a 10 millimeter. You got the little grooves here. There's only one way you can install it, hopefully. It's 10 millimeters. I use the drill just to run it down. So then I actually tighten it with my ratchet. Just getting tight. Don't go crazy. Most of the stuff is in place. So now I'm gonna route the harness and the hood release cables and make sure everything's plugged in. Alright, so here's how I got it routed so far. The hood release cable, I had to take these two bolts out again because the cable actually ran behind, so I took those two out and I ran it behind. Clips here, this other one that comes out from this side, clips right here, and on the condenser on both sides, and here. Right, the harness will come out from the bumper. You'll have to hook up the horn. Should be two connectors, and these go on the cover on the top itself. I'm not gonna put that on. I'm gonna do that last. I'm gonna actually hook up the hoses and everything first, so I could run the car. Make sure there's no leaks. Make sure there's no leaks down there in the condenser where the lines hook up. What else? Don't forget your switch over there at the bottom. And don't forget the reservoir tank right there. Hook it up. And that's how it's routed. Alright guys, so at this point I got everything hooked up. I got the transcooler line up here at the top hooked up. There you go. What else? Everything here is routed except the cover, horn, condenser lines, connector, and I got upper radiator hose. Well, at the bottom everything's connected. That's pretty straightforward. Over here I got the reservoir back on. So let's see. There's two lines connected to the reservoir tank. This one is actually the overflow. So this one goes from here straight down to the back and goes towards the bottom of the car. This one, the one that comes out, that one, this one right here, goes, that's the, that one goes to the bottom of the reservoir, okay? Don't hook it up backwards, because if you hook this one up in the bottom, when you dump coolant here, it's just going to go straight to the floor, okay? Alright, so at this point I'm I'm ready to put the coolant back in. I'm not going to put the cover on yet because I want to check everything with the car running. Make sure I don't have leaks anywhere. Make sure pretty much no coolant leaks, no transmission oil leak, and I want to make sure my AC works because right now I hooked up the vacuum pump. Let me remove this. I hooked up the vacuum pump and my AC manifold gauges, and I was pulling a vacuum. I got my gauges right here. So right now I stopped the pump. I let the pump run for about an hour or so. After you turn it off, it's supposed to hold vacuum. If it's not holding vacuum, you got a leak in your AC system, which the only lines I opened up were in front of the condenser. That's about it. So if I had a leak, I know it was going to be there. So it's holding pretty good. It's been holding for about 15 minutes now, and it hasn't budged. So that's a good sign. The other side's connected right there. I don't know if you can see, the light sucks. Sorry guys. Anyways, that's the low side right there by the brake master cylinder, and the high side is over here, right there. You can rent. I actually rented the manifold gauge and the vacuum pump from AutoZone. Came up to like 260. Came up to like 260, and you pretty much get your money back when you return the tools. So right now I'm going to fill it and run the car. Alright guys, so when you're refilling the coolant, in order to bleed it, you gotta open both relief holes. There's one on the radiator, which you're looking at right now. The other one's by the firewall, which I'll show you next. So when you're putting the liquid coolant, you should see some coolant coming out of there. When you see some coolant coming out, you're okay to plug the hole. That's the other one over there. See how the fluid is already up to the top? If I keep putting fluid down the radiator neck, well, the filler neck, it's going to start to spill. So that means the air is out, so it should be good to close that one. So when I close that one, then I move back to this one, and same process. And that's why I didn't want that to happen. That's why you gotta go slow, but yeah, you gotta have some coming out. So they tell you not to spill on the hoses or anything else, but it's almost nearly impossible not to. So that's it guys, you know, make sure you tighten it. Tighten the one in the back as well. Alright, so before you actually run the car, you're going to install the air filter box. That's pretty simple, same way of removal. Take this out. Make sure you get this out of the way. These prongs right here, you'll see the holes there where they got to align. So you just have to play with it a little bit, kind of align it. At the same time, get this out of the way. I guess you'll feel it when they're there, which is not. There it goes. That should be good. Gotta make sure everything's in place. There's a little tube there. You gotta make sure put it in as well. So everything's good to go. Okay. So this will be the 10mm. And you don't want to forget the hose clamp. She's right there. That's an 8mm. Okay. And let's not forget your connector. If you forget to plug this in, I'm sure you're gonna get the check engine light coming on. Alright, I wanted to show you guys that it's been about an hour or so since I shut the pump off, and it's still holding vacuum. So that means we're good to go. I want to unplug it and recharge it. Just got to put the front grille and the cover on the top. It's pretty simple. I'm going to show you real quick. Cover goes on first. What you want to do is try to clip this on first. Clip on the cable. Alright, should be good. Alright, now what you want to do is lift up a little bit over here. Alright, should be aligned. Now, should be good to go. Just put the harness in the front. Now you could just plug it in into these holes right here, like so, like that. Pretty easy. Just go all the way around, and then the grill it's just gonna slide in. See these holes right here, right here. That's the tabs where the grill is gonna go. Grill. Just align it. Push in. That's it. Done. I got the seal. I put the seal on before on the grill. All you gotta connect is these two in the there's two of them little pins in the corner. Just push them in. Real easy. Alright, that's done. These break really easy, so I suggest you buy Nissan Infiniti. They use it all over the car, even to put on the splash guards. So all you gotta do is just snap. I don't need gloves anymore. Snap them in. If you break it, I bought a bag of 100 for like $8. Came from China. They're pretty good. I actually used them already. Pretty good. Okay. Before you actually put the grill back on, don't forget the bolts that go behind this. Remember, I didn't take this out because I didn't really need to. If you forget, you could just lift it up a little bit before you put this fastener on. You could lift it up a little bit and you might be able to get your wrench in there. I forgot, so I put them in after I actually put the grill on. So like I said, if you forget, just take this one back out and you're able to see it. Lift this up and see it. So all you gotta do is just put the remaining ones over here. Well guys, if you got any questions, just leave the comments. I'll try to answer them. All right?